All right, looks like we're live. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy, I'm pretty sure National Quilt Day. Happy day before St. Patrick's Day. Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure National Quilt Day. I saw a post that I'd made last year and it said National Quilt Day. So I'm guessing that's what today is too. Uh, uh, YouTube's over here actually notifying me on time that I'm live. The YouTube notifications are kind of hit or miss on if they show up when it's actually happening. But today it told me I'm live. I'm gonna hang out a little bit, wait for more folks to come in and say hi, let me know that they're here, and then we'll start digging in to what we're doing today. I hope everybody had a great weekend. It's been pretty cloudy and drizzly. We haven't actually gotten any rain, which is kind of depressing. We're definitely, I think, like most of the country, we're definitely in like a severe drought action happening. Um, like with the high winds and the really dry leaves, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of danger of wildfires. There have been some up and down the East Coast. I know South Carolina had some. So hopefully these clouds actually give us some rain, but they seem to be moving pretty quickly and nothing's really happening. I know that there's been some dangerous storms in the south and in the middle of the country. Um, I would like to stay away from that if possible, but good morning. Hello, Dawn. Hi, Charlotte, Mary, and Doreen. How are you ladies doing? It never fails. I drink like water before I come on because I want to make sure I'm like hydrated and blah blah blah. But it never fails that my voice goes a little bit wonky as soon as I hit go live. Hey Ingrid, how is everybody doing? Good morning, Kristen. All right. So if you had joined me last Sunday, I worked on the first block 1A, or A1 rather, of the Legit Kits Sewphia, which has some, cat sprinkles upon it. I worked on this and I had said, show up here too. I had said that I was going to work on A2 over the week. That did not happen. The week was very busy. So I work a full-time job. I had some exciting things happening in the beginning of the week to get ready for a presentation that I got to do. And I did a lot of practicing in the mirror Monday and Tuesday evening. So I didn't get to really do anything for block A2. And then I had a class and then practice. And yeah, so it's been a busy week. Always fun, full of fun things to do, but busy. And I never got back to this table to work on A2. So what I thought I would do today is get to work on, I'm going to go ahead and cut all of the fabric for the A2 block pieces that I have all cut out here. I'd already trimmed them. I always leave a little bit of extra even around the seam allowance. It's kind of just a mind trick I play on myself to make sure that I'm definitely having enough fabric. And so I thought I would just go ahead and work on the cutting for all of the fabric for all of A2. And if there's time left, I'll go ahead and start sewing some. But I thought it was a good, refresher for folks that maybe have never done a legit kit or have never done FPP of any kind, kind of how I cut fabric. This may or may not work for you. If you have a different way, fantastic. Talk about that, share it definitely in the chat, maybe different ways that you would cut your fabric. because we're all always learning. Just because I do it one way doesn't mean that somebody might not have a more efficient way to do it. And then I would, steal that too. I'm all about the plagiarizing of methods on how to make this faster and more fun. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started with that. I'm going to start with the biggest pieces. The fun part about A2 is that there are pieces in here that are one single fabric. So that's super easy. And we'll talk about how to handle that as we get to them. But yeah, I'm going to this is the biggest piece, so I'll get that cut. But then I'll pull out the single fabric pieces, because that'll be fun to get those out of the way and talk a little bit about how I deal with the units that have just a single piece of fabric. Did I see Shelly come in? Hey, Shelly. Marianne, good morning. Oh, I appreciate you being here, Marianne. Marianne is a bit of a weekend road warrior, back and forth. So I am happy to have you here. All right. So in when I was trimming these pieces, what I noticed about A2 is there are a lot of like wild shapes. Always triangles, like triangles within it, but like large amounts of like background, and then tiny little triangles in these. So I think that's a lot of fun. I think A2 is going to be fun to sew up. Oh, it's only got 4 pieces, so we'll go ahead and look at that one. This one only has 3. Yeah, I'll pull out the ones that have less fabric to pull together. Okay, I think I'll start with these, and then I'm just going to go ahead and clip these pieces back up again. I started my FPP journey as a cut the fabric as I go kind of person, and I will still do that if it's just me hanging out. And like when I'm testing maybe one of my own patterns, or I'm just chilling and cutting and working on an FPP project, I'll usually cut as I go. Hi, Sue. Oh, it was 84 in St. Louis. Oh, it's only 34 today. Oh no. Oh dear. Hi, Molly. Oh, Molly's trimming some half square triangles. Woo. That's always a chore. But they're so nice. Like when they're all trimmed up, they're beautiful. Okay, so why don't I grab the pieces that are single fabric, just a single piece of fabric, and I'll talk about what I do for those. Let's see, UN and I think DF. DF is for this block, the second block. I saw DF in a lot of the units, so that's going to be a popular color. And then UN T U UN. Okay. And then here, I'll lay these out underneath these. Off to the side. Okay. So when a unit only has one single piece of fabric, there's a couple of things that you can do. Hey, Kelly. Oh, Kelly, will you do a favor for me and see if Nightbot is playing nicely this week? I went in and looked at it. I really didn't look up any, like, if there were outages or anything. I didn't see anything of why last week should have been wonky. But if you would do me a favor, Kelly, and do !selfie so we can see if Nightbot will share your channel with everybody. If you are here and you have a YouTube channel that you want to share with everybody, hopefully the exclamation mark selfie is going to work this week. That should bring up your YouTube channel. Good morning, Lori and Carrie. Hello. All right, so I'm going to do this one from right here. Oh, yes. So single fabric. I'm going to go ahead and roughly cut around the shape. And then, oh, I may not use this because this doesn't roll as smoothly as, oh no. I know the cats were up here playing. I think they might have knocked my rotary cutter down. All right, scissors it is. So I'll roughly cut around the shape of the unit. There we go. And then to store for later, you can do a couple of different things. Some folks will sew a stay stitch, like right in the middle, just to hold the fabric in place. Some folks will use glue, like a sew line pen of glue, or just like an Elmer's, kids washable, like the purple stick is popular one that I see, to hold the fabric in place. Or some folks will just use a pin to hold the fabric in place. And that just, holds everything together for when you're ready to add. So this is A2J, when you're ready to add J to whatever section you're building with this unit. So I'll go and I'll do that for these two DF pieces and then get to the cutting of the rest of the fabric. But I'm just going to store it with a pin because I'm going to store all of these separate units. I'm going to pin all the fabric to each piece. And so I'm just going to have it pinned so I know it's done. And I'll just pop it over there. Kelly says she just did it. Doesn't seem to be working today either. Nightbot is behaving badly. All right, maybe I'll log. Well, I logged out of it last week and logged back into it. Maybe this time I'll actually research and see if they're having a problem. I didn't research. I just logged out. How long I've been working in the computer world. I just assume logging out and logging back in will solve all my problems. Apparently not this time. All right. So these next two pieces are all this daffodil color, which is a really fun yellow. I really like the oranges and yellows that Sewphia has. To really make the dark browns and like burnt umbers and stuff stand out from the machine, the sewing machine. All right, so there's that piece. The fun part about sections or units that only have one piece of fabric is that you roughly cut it out and then you're done. You don't have to sew anything. So this is going to be a pretty good size piece of fabric. When you're ready to actually sew this together to its next units, I may, back in and when I was first starting, I may have actually glued it down for the actual sewing part of it because it'll help hold it in place. When the pieces of fabric get larger and floppier, they'll sometimes move under your needle, or they'll stretch a little bit if you pull a little hard. So glue basting it is how I used to take care of that. Now I go for it. A little bit more comfy. Oh, Kelly needs more coffee. Turn it off and turn it back on, right? Is it plugged in? Reboot. So I just assumed that would take care of Nightbot, but I assumed it wrong. That's all right. Let's see. I want to make sure that I'm leaving as much, because we got DF happening in quite a number of pieces, but I think, yeah, this is definitely the largest piece of DF. I think this is like the second largest piece. So as long as I keep this piece off to the side, I'll have enough surface area to get the rest of the pieces cut out. So I'm just gonna eyeball it and trim this one out. I can hear my pup at the top of the stairs. So she's definitely heard that I am awake. There we go. All right. There's this one. This is definitely a wonky shape. I'll take care of the trimming of it when I'm actually ready to add A2H to its proper place. But I'll just put pin for now. Mix these two over top. All right, there we go. 3 pieces done already. Go ahead and do this larger one. But I saw my, yeah, I did move it. I just used this mailer from Wearable Art. I'm not sure where I got this from. Cool stuff though, but it's a mailer and I use it to help me crease my sew lines, which helps with cutting the fabric and then with positioning the fabrics. All right. There and here. Yeah, this definitely has some more interesting shapes. Not shapes that you always see with a legit kit pattern. So that's pretty cool. It'll be fun to see it come together. All right. So for this, I need, stick these under here. So I have all of my fabrics in alphabetical order over here. Obviously, I've pulled these out. They're not in alphabetical order any longer. But hello, Karen. Hi, Lori. Oh, so Lori, yes, I have. They posted yesterday, I believe, that they are cautiously confident that they're going to open back up the block of the month for Sewphia. So be on the lookout this week for it to go back live. Cautiously optimistic. There's still shipping issues and getting things in, so but they feel as they have enough to at least open it back up again, and they'll probably be very, very quick to shut it down if they get a ton of folks. I know that there are a couple of people sharing how to sew it up on YouTube now, which is getting a lot of interest, and sharing on their socials and everything. So I would definitely keep an eye open. Hello, Gladys. Karen's coming from rainy Southern Ohio. You're getting the rain. That's good. That's very good. We are so in need of rain. We didn't get any really snow this year. We didn't really get any snow last year. It's been a little bit since we've had a measurable amount of rain or snow. Then I know, we'll get a lot of rain, and then I'll be complaining about we have too much rain. All right, LQ. CZ, LQ, R, and SC. I think a couple of cats are contemplating hopping up on the table, so you may see some visitors. All right. So these are for this one. Got that one straight. Let's see. I see you. You don't need to come up here. Let's see. Brown. Mahogany and black. And Y and P, and then we need T. Which is espresso. All right, so that's the fabric, all the fabric for this second piece. This one gets the DF. So this, I'm usually do it in chunks like this. I'll take like ones that have, oh, yep, there's a base drop. Hello, sir. You are not going to be able to be up here. I got too much going on, my friend. Come on, turn around. Go around the other way. Go around the other way. Go that way. There you go. Go on. Good job. All right. So I'll take out the stack, like, depending on how many pieces are in, how many different units are in the block, but I'll take like all of the 2-piece fabrics and I'll pull the fabric and stack them up like this, and then just boom, 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 go through it. So it's very much like a kind of a warehouse floor working down the line. All right. BT. This is fun. Block 2 is working with colors that block 1 hadn't even touched yet. So like this biscuit wasn't a part of that. DF. QD. Suede we hadn't touched yet. And RH Earth we hadn't touched yet. So that's cool. This one's going to have ones we haven't even looked at yet. All right. So again, DF, T is in there. So we need WE. Whoops. What, if you've been able to, what have you all been working on this weekend? Have you been able to sew? I know, somebody had said they're working on half square triangles. Hey, Valerie, how are you doing? Ooh, Kelly says spring break just started and it's been raining the whole time. Yeah, that's never fun. All right, so I'll put this one down at the bottom of the pile because it depends on pieces of fabric that have already been claimed at the top. And then DF is going to be the same way. DF, BU, okay. Up is the last one. I don't think we used up yet. Nope. All right. So I can put all of this out of the way because for this first batch of units, I've gotten all of the fabric in place for what we need. And then I can start cutting everything out. Oop, messed with my, there we go. Kelly says she finished the Princess Cut Gem block in FPP that I was working on during her live on Friday. I love it. Ooh, I was doing some spring cleaning, some rearranging, and I found some double gauze fabric that feels absolutely lovely, and it's starting to get warmer. And I'm thinking about using that fabric to make like a light shirt, like maybe have a tank top underneath of it, and wear that as a top. So I got to break out my serger and a shirt that I like the way it fits, and then do that. All right, so QD is fabric number 1, then BT, then RH, then DF. All right, so I'm laying out the fabrics in the order that I'll cut them. There we go. I'll just put that over there because I can't remember what fabrics I need for the pieces that didn't have all the fabric to use. Let's see, BT. And Karen is working on Summer Moon. That's been sitting here since 2020. Yes. Love being able to jump on some of the stuff that's just been hanging out. Hey, Jess, how are you doing this morning? Yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's really like a nice, I really like how the gauze is like flowy and stuff. So I think that'll be fun. But I don't want to have to do a lining because that just adds more layers, which I'm always hot already. And then, I'm coming into the time of life where any moment the possibility of spontaneous combustion is a real life threat. So I don't want to add a lining and make it heavier. So I'm thinking, having the tank top underneath of it will be just fine. There we go. Oh, so I have really been neglecting watching YouTube. I've been so bad with YouTube lately. Uh and I haven't been paying much attention to fabric lines because I have about more fabric than any one human being needs, although I'm sure that's probably true of many of us. But are there fun fabric lines that are coming out this spring that you are really looking forward to? That I will gladly share in your excitement, but I'm going to attempt to ignore so I don't actually buy any more fabric. Oh, you're welcome, Lori. Yeah, really like I hope you get it. This has been a lot of fun. I really love the colors, and uh I like that it's a shorter block of the month. I'm excited about that. Hello, Shelly. Hello. How is Ohio? I heard it was kind of rainy. Okay, so I have the 4 pieces of fabric cut out for this little unit, and I cut the fabric in order 1, 2, 3, 4. When I lay the fabric down, I lay it down upside down, so it's 4, 3, 2, 1. And then when I put it on the piece of the unit, the paper of the unit, I flip it so it's fabric number 1 on top, and then I pin it, and then I put it to the side. And that little guy is ready to sew. All done. And this next one, I have all of the fabric for, I think it's just the last 2 units, I think. I didn't have all of them. So, okay, yes. MY is piece 1. T is piece 2. There we go, 3 and 4. And again, that's how I lay out the fabric to cut in order, so that then I lay it upside down in reverse order. Oh, Shelly says, yep, windy, rainy, and chilly. A great day to stay in and sew. Yes, indeed. Valerie says she's shopping her stash. I have lots of beautiful fabric and projects for some of it. Yes, I think I'm going to be doing a lot more stash work. A lot more stash work. And I have tons of kits that I need to start working through. I might, maybe that might just become a thing now on Sundays is that would be fun if I put a poll up in my YouTube channel saying which of these kits should I work on next. That would be fun. And then that would be what I worked on my Sunday live. Then it takes it. I get to pick what 3 options are, but then I don't have to like finalize the choice because that's where I run into issues. I can never like decide what it's going to actually be, what I'll actually work on. I will let you all choose. I think that'll be fun. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I have many, many kits that I need to get to work on. All right. Karen says, I'm trying not to look at new fabric, have so much, and not enough time to sew everything. I hear you. Valerie wants to finish the New York Beauty that we started. We started that last year. Golly, Bob. Yes, I have that. That's sitting in one of my project bin thingies. That's another thing that I would really like to get done and off of my list, because originally the hope was to put that in the county fair this year. So I would really like to get that done. Oh, and I also got the black batting for the neon nights. So I want to get that finished up also for the fair. Yeah, I put some stuff to the side last year, and it's time to dig back in and finish what I started. That project was working out gorgeous. If you guys haven't done a New York Beauty or haven't seen a New York Beauty, we actually talked about it last week too. The New York Beauties. Definitely look that up and look up Cynthia White's Dazzling New York Beauty book. That's what we were using. And she also has a Facebook group where you can join the Facebook group, and then she has some corrections and some downloadable units where the 1/4 inch seam is already added, or where some of her Facebook group members, like, they worked out a way for you to be able to add the 1/4 inch seam allowance to even like weird shaped things. So it's a lot of fun. It's a great project, and you learn a lot doing a New York Beauty, because you learn about FPP, you learn about sewing curves, which is amazing. Yeah, it's a good project, and the book really helps. And you can do like we did. We did not decide to do the entire quilt top. We decided to pull 16 of the blocks that we liked a lot and and do those 16 blocks instead of all, I think, is it 51 of them? Instead of doing the entire quilt top, we were going to do a wall hanging. So you can make your your decision based on how much patience you might have for doing that. So okay, so everybody, okay, great, Mary, thank you, and Valerie, yes, I think that'll be fun. Shelly's working on making pillowcases. I love that. Who did I watch making pillowcases? I watched Jean Truelove is who I first watched making pillowcases, and that was a blast. I really liked that. So I made matching pillowcases to go with uh quilts that I made for my nieces. And I haven't done that since. Need to do that again. Shelly, what charity are you making them for? Hi, sir. I don't need you up here, bud. No, harmonica. Back down. For sure, share in here, like what the charity is. Ingrid says, I'd like to finish anything to enter it into the county fair. Yeah, the finishing part is the struggle. Oh, that's a good suggestion for Mary. Work on the project that's the closest to completion. All right, so SC is 1. R is 2. LQ is 3 and 4. And then CZ is 5. So this one needs D, F, and T to be done. For that one, then DF. BO. All right, there we go. So this is a really cool shaped one as well. Like these two really big pieces of fabric and this thin line of little triangle slivers and a little, not a rectangle, but a little sliver that's going to be in there. Valerie says, get the Kindle version, not Cynthia White's book. Yeah, the Kindle version or the digital download from C&T Publishing, so much better. Yep, in the book it's printed. That's, yes, Valerie, that's fantastic. Thank you for bringing that up. Oh my gosh, that was a shock for us when we got the book and we realized the paper in the book, everything was printed on both sides, so we couldn't just, and it's like huge, it's like a wall map size paper. We couldn't just cut everything out. Ooh. Shelly is sending her pillowcases to T Quilts and she's distributing them. I love that. We are big fans of T Quilts. Actually, a couple of folks in the chat are going this year to T's retreat, so that's super exciting. Yeah, the T is actually, so we were just talking about the New York Beauty. T is actually who I got my African fabrics from, the African boutiques for my New York Beauty. Yeah, very much like her a lot. Kelly says the gemstone blocks are from a book, and fortunately the pieces were easy to photocopy. Nice. Karen asks, with these kits, do you get plenty of fabric to cut your pieces? Cutting the correct shape is my downfall. I mess up more times than getting it correct. So what I have found with Legit Kits blocks of the month, you for sure, you get a lot, because they want to make sure that you have enough for each month, but then you start to kind of stockpile the colors that are being used within the block of the months different pieces, different units and everything. So you start stockpiling the fabric, and then as you're going through the block of the month, you'll have backup pieces of fabric as you go. So that is super helpful. Legit Kits is super awesome about, if you say you just get like a kit, like uh you get like the little Hummer, which is the little hummingbird, and you get the whole kit, so you get all the fabric at one time, and you make a couple of miscuts, or your dog eats your fabric, or your cats use it as a scratching post. They will replace the pieces, and the pieces that you need. You just send them an email, and they will send you the fabric that you need so that you can complete your quilt top. They are really incredible about their customer service, and they will make sure that you are able to finish what you have started. So if you have miscuts, or if you had done miscuts and then now you don't have enough fabric, go ahead and place the order. Continue working on the other pieces. They're super fast about getting that fabric out to you. Maybe 2-3 days that you'll have to wait. Of course, if you're asking over a weekend, that could add some time. But the shipping is really fast. So don't let the fear of not having enough fabric keep you from a legit kit. That's for sure. They will hook you up. They'll make sure that they really want you to be able to finish successfully. All right, Kelly, thanks for hanging out with us. You have a great Sunday. Uh, I think, where most everyone's pretty aware that Legit Kit, when you're ordering the whole kit, is it's an investment for sure. It is much cheaper to buy the whole thing from them than to try to source it yourself, because a lot of these pieces, like this is like just a little fragment, a 4.5 by 5.5 inch little piece. And sometimes some of their quilts have several where that's it. Like you have one one fragment and you're only using that color one time. And to go and try to buy like fat quarters or layer cakes or anything like that to try to get all of source all the fabric that you're going to need for the kit, it's going to end up costing a lot more. Now, if you have a phenomenal stash, you're all good. But just starting off, it's definitely an investment. But it's an investment. You get all the fabric that you need, and if there's a mistake, they will send you more fabric. So it's an investment that I think it's worth it. And some folks, they want to make a legit kit, and they only want to make one legit kit, and so they save up for the one that they want to make because it's for a special occasion or whatever. And so they just save up. I thought I was going to do one and then got addicted. So there's that too. TF is what I'm waiting for this one. All right. It's piece one. Shelly said when she finished the mini Blue Jay, she had enough fabric to make another one. Yeah, for sure. Especially as you get more and more comfortable with cutting the around the shape that you need. If you gamify it, if you make it a challenge where you're trying to use as little fabric as possible, and end up with the biggest piece of usable fabric at the end, as you get, and this is, I've been doing this for 4 years now. Like it takes a little while for you to start feeling that comfortable. But yeah, you can end up with a lot. Like I did the Kraken. I have so much fabric left over to do any of the legit kits. I'm pretty sure I could do the largest ones. They're 8x8s. I could probably do 2 or 3 of them and not have to buy any more fabric, and just buy the pattern from them, with the files file system I have of all the colors from all of the ones that I've done already. So yeah, they definitely give you enough fabric. They look out for you. That is for sure. Wow, I will say that I'm surprised that nobody has a fabric line that's coming out that they've talked about. Well, I guess I'm not surprised. I mean, if I'm feeling it and like feeling like, oh, that's it's a lot of money, and I have enough fabric. I'm Of course there's other folks out there feeling the same way. So, but I just got to be smart about where my money's going. After we're done here today, I am going to go and I'm I'm doing big batch cooking, making some lunches for this week, but also then freezing uh, what I've made so that I can like stock up the freezer with and rotate through different. I'm doing I'm doing Japanese curry. I'm doing an Indian eggplant dish. So I'm going to have a couple of different cuisines. And then next week, I'm going to do a couple of more so I don't get bored during the week at pulling things out of the freezer for lunches. So I'm excited to do that after our live today gets cooking. Hello. Good morning, Math Geek. All right, here we go. How have you been? Michelle says Legit Kits doesn't want anyone to fail. That's so true. It is a part of their marketing plan to make sure that everybody's successful so that they share it and they get more people excited about it. Yeah. And then, oh, need to bring LQ back out. Oh, I did CZ as 4 instead of LQ as 4. Here we go. I'm gonna have to do it this way. All right. This piece is too long to do it along the side I already cut. That's the other way too. I try to like use the same side and didn't reduce. It really is a game to me now of trying to use as little like fabric and have I always trying for like a nice like hunk of usable fabric at the end, but sometimes it's not always possible. Like this, I need to cut all the way across the length of this 1/16, a fat 16th. So it's not always possible. But again, this is the largest piece that's from this A2 block. And anything else that's going to use this lemon LQ is going to be very much smaller than this. So this is a lot of usable space left over. So this, this. Now this is going to be a lot of fabric kind of flopping all over the place, but I'll just pin it on top like I do all of the rest. Making sure I get this. Yeah, I want to make sure I get that little rectangle. There we go. That one's ready. Yeah, I do enjoy batch cooking like that. Like I cook for an army anyway, so saving it and making sure I have room in the freezer, that's the other bit. And then freezing some of it for a rotation of just when I feel like having whatever it is. Um, it makes the lunches far less boring. Good morning, Elizabeth. Oh, that's funny. Nafki says, I just realized I'm a few minutes behind. I'm so good. I'm so glad that you're doing well. All right. So see, this is I mean, this is really how I get it. Like this little bit was hanging off the end. I don't know if it like is OCD or what, but I'm gonna try to figure out how to use, and then if I can end up with just one like nice little rectangle of fabric, that makes me so happy. Oh, I just started cutting because we were talking and I didn't even uh really that's piece three. I didn't start with my piece one because I'm too busy yammering. That's one. And that will stay under because I need it for the last one. Yes. There's something else I was going to make. Oh, I'm going to do sauteed spinach with sesame oil and sesame seeds. Probably throw some onions in it too. I love sesame oil, but that's like as a little side for the curry. All right. 1, 2, and 3. Do you all have a favorite dish that you could like eat forever and always, or do you have a favorite cuisine that you prefer and that you could eat forever and always? What like for me it would definitely be a cuisine because I want different dishes within the same realm. So it would be, but which that would be is so hard for me because I love Indian food so much and I love all of the different regions with India. So and all of the different influences they have from everywhere that's around. Oh my gosh. So that's a really good one to choose. But then can I just say like the Asian continent? Can I just do that? I guess that's too broad. I would I would need to bring a kit if I was, you know, stranded on a desert island and I could only have one dish. I guess that's kind of cheating saying I want the entire continent. Oh gosh, but yeah, then there's South America where I love Colombian and Peruvian and Guatemala. I don't know. I just can't afford to ever be stranded on a desert island. Okay, DF is one. Up is two. There's three and four. That makes it easy. Oh, well, if I had to have one, if I can only have one meal forever and always, actually, I'm pretty sure it would be my grandmother's Sunday dinner, where I would be happy to only have that spread forever and always. Southern, so there's, cream corn and chicken dressing and uh, pork tenderloin on her buttermilk biscuits. Yeah, I would be okay with that. I would be good to end up that way. Yeah, sesame oil is so nice. Valerie says I can always eat Italian and Chinese. Yeah, the whole Asian continent. Oh, Pacific salmon. Oh, that's really good. That's I was about to say your name and I'm never sure. But yeah, that's a really good, like, what is your favorite protein? I could definitely be pescatarian for sure. Although um I would definitely fall for a cheeseburger every once in a while. Gotta have a cheeseburger every once in a while. Oh, bagels with lox and cream cheese. Oh, that sounds so good. That's good too. Lori says, what? No dessert? What I really like? Oh, yeah, the sesame balls that they have uh like it's usually like a bread bean paste inside. That would be fabulous to have as a forever dessert. I'd be okay with that too. I made I don't know if you have seen this. It's on TikTok or Instagram Reels or whatever. They're Japanese sandos, where it is a really like soft milk bread with whipped cream and then strawberries or mangoes or grapes or what inside, and that's like a dessert sandwich. And I made this. I made my own whipped cream yesterday. I made strawberry ones, and I'm gonna finish off the whipped cream and make mango ones today. That's a fun little dessert for sure. Don't get too excited about someone making whipped cream. That's literally heavy whipping cream, some powdered sugar for stability, and vanilla. And you just whip it. But I'm definitely going through this whole know what's in what I'm eating kick. So trying to make things myself at home more. All right, there we go. So that is the last of that group that I pulled to work on. We have all those stacked up and ready to go. Now the other pieces are under here. And these are the ones that have like 5 or more pieces of fabric to put together. Shelly says, stop it, you're making me hungry. Oh, Matthew says, I don't have much of a sweet tooth. I'm definitely I lean more towards salty things, but if it's salty sweet, like chocolate covered pretzels or something like that, totally on board. Yeah, never want to limit food choices for very long. And actually, I've never really been a fan of any of the diets that say to get rid of things, because having gone to culinary school and learning about nutrition. Listen, I've learned about nutrition. That doesn't mean I follow everything that I learned about, because I love food far too much to limit myself. But I definitely learned that when you deprive yourself of anything, then that becomes a problem, and then your body does wonky things. So I've never been a big fan about the cutting anything out of your diet, aside from like ultra processed foods, like that kind of stuff. It totally makes sense. But cutting out, going way too heavy on the carbs or going way too light on the carbs, that stuff I don't really get into. But I also know, to each their own. Everybody gets to make their own choice on that kind of stuff. Ooh, this one has 8 pieces of fabric, and this one has 8 pieces of fabric. All right. So 5, 6, and 8. Ooh, well, I just did that, and I think what I'll actually do is lay them out again and then go through the fabrics that I already pulled out and see if I can put them with some of these. And then we'll go through the stack that's still alphabetized. So I think I saw the brown is here under this one. Yep. And then is cappuccino used in any of these? Oh, UN. No. So no. So this is what I'm talking about. This 4.5 4.5 by 5.5 inch fabric fragment for the first 2 blocks. This is all that I needed to use, and it's not used in any other pieces. So I have all of this usable fabric left over that will go in my drawer. One of these days I'll have to like show you guys the filing cabinet of Kona solids. All right, DF was on this one too. Is DF used anywhere else? This one has DF. All right. So I know DF is also this one. Let's see. WE is here and here. Oh, WE is using a number of these. I'll put it with this one just to start us off. A T. I don't think I see T. Nope. So then there we go. This larger scrap, a 5.5 inch by 9 inch scrap. This is going to be the leftover usable fabric that's left over from there. Yeah, removing the processed foods. Yep, that's and working to remove the processed foods when they work very hard to make sure the processed foods taste amazing is an issue. Let's see. CZ. Is this used anywhere? I don't think so. Yep. Here we go. There's a big old piece of usable fabric that I could use when month 2 comes. Sometimes I've done that where I will, rather than cut into what comes in the next month for sew along, I will pull all of the pieces that I had from the months previous and use that. And then I've ended up with whole, untouched, fat quarters and things like that. That's a really great way to conserve. Oh, Lori, yeah, that's also, that is a fun thing that they do. You have to know that you're going to purchase. So what Lori's talking about, sorry, before I start, I'm also trying to keep Harmonica from jumping on everything. Legit Kits offers a buyback program, basically, where you have to know that you're going to do this at the beginning, and you pay for the opportunity to, no matter where you are in building the Legit Kit that you purchased, if you decide this isn't for you, you're never going to finish it. It's not going to happen. You can send it back to Legit Kits, and they have folks who are totally on board with helping complete what you started. And then you don't lose, like you get your money back. Like you buy into it, and then you get and so yeah, you just send everything back to them. That's pretty cool. But you have to know going in before you buy it that you're on the on the fence about if you're going to do it or not. All right, LQ. Do we have any LQs? Nope. So because that was such a big piece that we cut out for the last piece, this big piece of LQ, we got a lot of usable fabric left over for that. Any R's? Yep. SEs or SCs. Yep, SCs here. Let's see, it's also in a couple of these. P. I'd be surprised if P isn't used somewhere, but I don't think so. Oh, nope, there it is. P is used on this one. Now, this is how you guys do whatever makes you comfortable. I like doing them in the biggest chunk, like the largest pieces first, and then the sections or the units that use the fewest amount of fabrics first, and put them all to the side, and then I'll go on from there. And then rather than going through the whole act of having to re-alphabetize the fabric, I'll just look at what I was already using before putting it back to see if it's using in the next grouping of units that I'm going to be working on. All right. Oh, all right. I'm going to, because I'm trying to build out where one block has all of its fabric, and some of these blocks use a lot of the same fabrics. I'm going to look to try to finish this one. So DF, RH, BT, I think I need BS, which is BS, just still over here. I think. Yep. So I think, all right. So that one, even though some of the fabric that this unit uses is with some of these that I haven't finished up, I know that this one's completely finished and has all of the fabric it needs. So I don't have to worry about this one anymore. Although I do have to grab J. And then I can just focus on the rest of the blocks. So I'm going to put this one up here under my presser foot so I know where it's at and I don't have to worry about it. And then I can spread this out a little bit more. And now I'm seeing if mahogany is used anywhere. I don't think it is. I think this one isn't. Yep, I don't think that one's used with any of them. QD. Here, it's here. I think this one's the only one that uses QD, so there we go. And so this is SCNWE, so I'm going to pull the WE from this one and add it to this one, so we might be able to build this one fully going through the rest of the fabric. So all of these fabrics so far are ones that aren't used. We're done. So this is all leftover, completely usable fabric for the next months. We can pull all of that to pull in. Jess is back from lurking. Hello. Ingrid says she does the same thing. It's a fun little game to see how little fabric you can use. Oh, the directional or pattern fabrics in FPP. That's a whole nother world. That's a whole nother world. You got to be. It's completely not doable, but you just have to be on your A game. You got to pay attention the whole time. All right. So anybody using AA? No A's, so that's good. AG. Yes, AG. And AU. NDR. All right. I think I saw HY somewhere. HY. The IN. All right. I love this orange. The mac and cheese, because it totally looks like the cheddar that you do use in mac and cheese. I love it so much. Let's see. Do we have any more of that orange used? PP. I said PP. Such a child. Nope, that's not used anymore. All right. PK. Yep, PK is here and here. RP. SI. SL. Oh no, base drop. No, come on, buddy. You're gonna mess up the papers. Come on, bud. He's fighting me. Go that way. Go that. Yeah, there you go. Good job. SL. Up here. SY. I know I've seen SY. This one's closer to being finished, so I'm going to put the SY here. U. I don't think anything is using U. Okay. And then UN is being used here. All right. So I think DF is in this one. So this is going to be the next one that's close to having all of them. Does this? So I'll put this one on top because that has a piece of fabric that piece needs. This one might have all of it. UN 1 RP. Oh, RP might have been. Yep, RP is in this one. So this will go underneath that. And then all of the rest of these are still waiting for fabrics that are up on these ones. So yeah. All right. So we'll do that, and that. So we have all of the fabrics set up for all of the pieces that are left over to cut. And then this is all of the fabric that we have not used now that we've gone through the entire rest of A2. So this is a pretty good stack of usable fabric. I will hold on to this. I will put it in a folder that's just Sewphia block scrap fabrics. I'll put all of these in there. I'll alphabetize them after we're done cutting these out, alphabetize them, and be ready for when month 2 gets here and pull these out to use. So here we go. Pretty efficient. I like doing it this way. Keeps me organized. Sewphia will be a 30 by 40 or a 40 by 30, depending on. So I don't like. Do you normally do height first and then width? 30 inches high, 40 inches across. Oh, I do. Okay. Let me go. I will go get the picture. Hold on just a sec. I'll be right back. I'm just going over to my desk, not my sewing machine. 1 second. Okay. Oop, turn around this way. There we go. That's what she's going to look like at the end. So we have, for reference, this is the block that we just finished last week, or I started putting together sewing and then finished last week. So that's this guy, which is A1, A1A. So yeah, she's a beauty. I really love all of the oranges, and then all the dark colors really pop against those oranges. It's a really cool little antique sewing machine. But yeah, I like, let's see if I can pull this up just a little bit and then add this in there so you can see, these like light orange are these 2 pieces. And so it's the start of the flywheel. So pretty cool. And yeah, it'll be 40 inches across and 30 inches down. So it's a really good like wall hanging size. So that's what we're working towards. And again, if you just joined, or you didn't hear earlier, they are cautiously optimistic that they have enough fabric to go ahead and open up the block of the month again. I'm using my phone as the overhead camera, so I can't check right now to see if they open it up today, but I would definitely take a look today. It's Legit BOM, Legit BOM, so BOM.com. And you should be able to see if they have that back again. Yeah, it's really pretty. I'm really excited about this one. I had told myself that I wasn't going to sign up for any more block of the months. I was going to focus on the things that I have because I haven't finished the deep dive block of the month. I need to finish some things. I need to finish some things. But when Sewphia came out, I was like, oh, I have to jump on this for sure. So, and it's a shorter one. The ones like Color Vortex, Iris. Oh, that's another one I didn't finish. Both sets of Iris block of the months. Vortex, Irises, and Deep Dive have been 12-month sew-alongs. This is a 6-month block of the month, so a little bit shorter, a little smaller size. I'm excited. It's going to be a good one. All right, so I'll go ahead and jump into getting these done too. Let's lay this out by, oh, this is an 8-piece of fabric one. So J is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. DF 6 and 7. All right, there we go. March 28th is when it's going to open up back up again. Okay. Thank you, Sylvia. I appreciate that. It was a cute Facebook post. I saw it on Facebook. Might have been on other pieces of social media where they were saying that they're ready. They're going to open it back up again. It's really a bummer when you're ready to go. You have the pattern is all ready. It's been tested. It's out there. They're using Sewphia as and also if you didn't want to do it as a block of the month and you had a location where they were teaching classes, they're teaching this Sewphia as a class. So that's another opportunity. But like if you don't have that, the block of the month is the easiest way. But to be all ready, to be all set to go live, and then have to halt in the middle for something that's not your fault, that not being able to get all of the fabrics is not their fault, that's for sure. Frustrating for sure. All right. So J, I think J is only used on this, and it's this little bitty little triangle right there that we're going to cut out of the end over here. And that's all that we're using for J. Let's do the triangle into the corner. There we go. Just gonna stack, and I don't want to do that right there. We'll stack them over here. See if I need to use him again. I think this was the only block that had it, but I just want to make sure. All right, another brown. Let's turn it this way. There we go. I think A2, did I talk about this last week? I think A2, if I was teaching this, uh, well, A2, and I don't know the rest of what the blocks look like, how they're broken down, because I didn't look at the uh per page breakdown. But A2 would definitely be the one I started with between the A1, A2. Um, if I was teaching it, only because so A1 has this big old piece, and that's just two pieces of fabric, but you're putting together a lot of different units to build the sections to go on, and sometimes where you're trying to get all of the seams together, it can get kind of frustrating. So there was a lot of, they seem to be kind of even. So I don't know. I think I would start with A2. But either way, you'll end up with an awesome looking antique sewing machine. Gosh, like I literally gasped out loud when I saw the pattern that they were going to be releasing this. I was on board from the jump for sure. Well, this is a good one to talk about when you're looking at the size. Like if you see some of these little triangles, like RH. Oh, can I even get that close and it still show? Yeah. RH is number 4 right there. You see how teeny tiny that little triangle is going to be? Or DF, it's going to be such a little triangle. Again, because I've been doing this for a while and I'm making it a game, I'm trying to use as little as possible. The fabric I cut for RH is smaller than I would recommend like a newbie doing it, or if you're concerned about it, but it's still a good size. It's a good amount larger than what that final triangle is going to look like. I definitely have enough fabric here to make sure that I have that little triangle covered. So it can be intimidating to look at how teeny tiny those little triangles are, but you don't have to, you're not starting off with fabric that size. You end up whittling it down as you're adding more and more fabric to the piece. So don't be intimidated when you look at the units and you see how small the fabric is. You don't have to do that. You're not starting off that tiny. So that's something to keep in mind. All right. So BT is another little tiny triangle, but again, I'm not sticking to that. I'll cut out a good piece of a triangle. Ugh, again, I keep lining it up and then having to move because I'm not setting myself up for success in actually cutting the fabric. All right, so we're in there. So again, BT is this really itty bitty little triangle right there. And I've cut that amount of fabric, which might be to you a scary small piece of fabric. You could do it 3 times this big, totally fine. Because you're going to, as you're adding fabric around it, you're going to whittle it down to that final shape. Totally fine. All right. This is another little tiny triangle. I'm going to cut a big old hunk of fabric out of. There we go. Yeah, just this is it. This is a fun one. It's been a really good time putting this together. And this is only the first month, so all right. Now this guy's done. Oh, we had a little I'm guessing pregnant raccoon. Is it last night? So either she was a pregnant raccoon or a healthily sized man boy raccoon. I don't know enough about them, but thankfully the dogs were downstairs already, so they didn't see any of that. That would have been there would have been much barking. All right, so let's see. Oh, this is the other 8-piece of fabric one, so we got a lot to do. SC is piece 1. Uh-oh. Did I not have this one finished? Oh, or is SC in here? No. Huh. All right. Oh, SC is right here. All right. SC is 1. RP is 2. And yes, I do sing to myself like this as I'm setting him up. I'm an oddball. AG. DR 4. 6, 7, and 8. There you go. So we got all of them for that one. Let me check what time it is. Oh, hey, Patrice. Going between me and the St. Patrick's Day Parade. I love it. Karen asks, is the angle that I think I get, is it the angle that I think I get wrong with solids? It would be easier to get correct. Solids is far easier because it doesn't matter, right sides or wrong sides, and you can, cut it. So like, oh, here we go. I have a pattern. I have a piece of fabric here that's patterned. So for a pattern, you have to remember that when you're cut, so let's say I'm cutting this DF and I want the shape of this triangle to go the right way. I can't line this up on the right side. And let me think this through. Can't line it up on the right side and cut it in this shape because you want it to, hold on a second. It's been so long since I've done FPP with a patterned piece. When was the last time I did FPP with a pattern? Probably either the 1718 or the New York Beauty. So it's been a while for me to even like think about how exactly. All right. So I want to do it in reverse. So if I do it this way, in this shape, we're going to test it out because now I literally cannot remember and I don't want to say the wrong thing. But I think you have to do it on the wrong side. Because we want it to end up like this, but the right side isn't, yes, okay, I have it. Because the right side of the fabric, this isn't the way it's actually facing, because you're sewing here and you need this to end up this way. Does that make sense? Like you want it to flip. Do you know what I mean? Oh wait, hold on a second. Ah! That's why you try to not do these things on live camera. Because now I got to figure it out. I'm going to have to go through the whole thing and figure out how to do this correctly. All right. So I have this lined up on the right side of the fabric, and I'm going to cut it to the right shape so I know exactly what I'm talking about. Do I want it to be lined up this way as I'm cutting it out on the right side of the fabric? So that then, so I would have this little piece would be here, and I would want to line right sides together. Yeah, okay. You want to line right sides together. So, okay, forget everything I just said. Let's start over again. I had to walk myself through it because it's been so long. I've been doing it on solids for so long. So, do you see how I'm testing it? Because we're doing right sides together and I need to make sure that it's covering that whole piece. The reason that it worked out where it's covering and I can see the fabric is all along the way is because I lined it up on the right side of the fabric. Where I was thinking you had to line it up on the wrong side of the fabric. If I had lined it up on the wrong side of the fabric, it would have looked like maybe this triangle isn't the right one to use. But yeah, in order for it to, because you're lining up. Maybe this triangle isn't the right one to use. Holy heck, folks, it has been such a long time since I've done it with patterned fabric. Why is it not working in my noggin? And I think this is just like the wrong triangle to use because I think it was going to end up looking like that no matter what. Let's trim it to closer to the actual shape of the triangle. And this is why you test it and talk yourself through it before cutting all of your fabric. All right. So the final shape needs to look like this. And this would be, so we'd be sewing it on what was already in 7, and we'd be adding 8 to it. And then folding it out to where it'd be like this. So there we go. Hi, Melanie. How are you doing? Okay, there we go. So we've just now talked it all the way through, and I had to relearn how to do FPP with pattern fabric because it's been so long. It's been like a year where it's been like weird shapes, not like, just like squares. Wow, that's pretty crazy. All right, you guys had to just walk through my brain with me. So yeah, it is the wrong side of the fabric. You're of printed fabric, and directional sends you into a whole nother world. But wrong side of the fabric when you're looking at the sew line of the paper, which a lot of people like refer to this as the right side of the paper because it has all the writing and stuff like that. But this is actually where you're sewing it to, and the picture is built on the back. Like with this is the right side of the fabric, and you're sewing on the right side of the paper, right? So we're all like wrong sides of everything together. And the picture shows up mirrored because you're flipping it over. That's why it's like topsy-turvy and hard. So even after all these years, I still have to walk myself through printed fabric. I appreciate you being here for my TED Talk. Where did I put that fabric? There it is. Yeah, there you go. That's why I'm a big fan of solids. No, Karen, that's an amazing question to ask. And you see, it messes with, because FPP is upside down and backwards and mirrored and topsy turvy. It takes you a little while to figure it back out again. Now, if you've been doing, like I've been doing a lot of legit kits, so it's a lot of solids, and a lot of the patterns that I've been releasing have been all a lot of solids. So you're not really thinking about right side, wrong side. But if you're doing that with pattern fabrics all the time, I wouldn't have had to like work my way through it because I would have been like muscle memory would have kicked in and I would have been used to it. But it's not something that I've been doing for a long time. So I love FPP. I do FPP every day, and I still had to like walk myself through it. Somebody just coming into it, having no idea what they're doing, it's intimidating. So just take a deep breath, walk yourself through it. Use scrap fabrics to like cut your first couple of pieces and line it up and see, like, do just like a basting stitch and see when you flip it open, does it actually cover what you're using? Or I like to do where I will fold it over and I'll do the feel test and the look test. Am I covering the shape that I'm supposed to be covering with the fabric that I just cut? If I'm not, there's an issue. If you're using and you know that you have enough fabric and you're using printed fabric, so for like this little triangle, I wouldn't try, if I'm using printed fabric, I wouldn't try to cut the triangle if I'm trying to avoid having that weird, do I do it on the wrong side of the fabric or the right side of the fabric? I would just cut a big old rectangle. So whichever way I set it on there, it would cover it, which was where I was having the issue because I did cut it in more of a rectangle. So it didn't matter if I cut it right side of the fabric or the wrong side of the fabric, because it was first cut in that rectangle, it was covering no matter what. Definitely feel free to do that. Cut a larger, just rectangle shape where in the end you'll cover the whole thing, no matter where you start from putting it onto the fabric before it. So yeah, you can do that too. And thank you for asking, and thank you for letting me like walk through it. No reason to hide the fact that I still have to think it through and remember what what and how I was doing things. You're very welcome. All right, so get back now, back to just good old solids. So it doesn't matter which way I lay this, I'm good to go. So let's see, SC. So let's kind of going off up into, I think if I cut it this way, we'll be good. Oh, the kiddos are making something downstairs, and now it's making me hungry. So that's piece one. I did SC. Yeah, SC came from this one. Oh, I'm getting hungry. And we'll do RP in this corner. So, like with this piece RP, I'm gonna fold this back because that's the shape that RP makes. But if you wanted to, you could just cut all the way up the fabric and not even like try to cut off the top of the triangle, and leave like this. I'm gonna end up leaving this weird little leg part. I'm good with that because I know at some point there'll be another triangle that I can fit in this little piece, which comes back to me trying to use as little fabric as possible. So I'm okay with having like that weird little shape to use in the future, but you don't have to do that. You could just go like all the way up, including the sound effect. There we go. And with these like almost right angles where I can just put it into a right angle of the scrap that I'm working on, or the fabric I'm working with. So I'll just fold it back and cut all the way. All right, so I should have all of this cut today, and then I don't have any big presentations at work this week, so I should be able to put all these pieces together and be able to share later this week, maybe by Wednesday, the finished block. So that will be nice. And then still trying to get into a routine where I'm posting in the middle of the week too. But I just gotta get into a routine with work and home where I'm able to do that. That's life, right? Try to stay as organized as possible, but life throws you curveballs. I'm taking a class, an improv class at the local theater where I've taken improv classes before, but this one is a musical improv class, and I am having so much fun. That's Wednesday nights. So much fun. I can't even explain it to you. I'm not a singer. I wish I was. I don't really know all that much about musical theater, aside from the things that I've liked. Like I've always liked, like The Sound of Music and Mary Poppins, and but that's like movies. haven't really been a huge like go to a Broadway show kind of chick, or go down to the Kennedy Center to watch them when they are on tour. It's just never really been. If a musical got turned, if a Broadway musical got turned into a movie, I may have seen it, but it's not really been my thing. So everybody in the class is vastly more experienced in the musical bit. Like for me, when when I would try to figure out when to start, so like the class, the teacher will start playing music, and like you are, supposed to come in and start singing just a song you're making up off the top of your head. And it's like, did I explain this to you guys before? It's like double dutch. Have you ever played double dutch? And I keep like I'm actually doing the double, where I'm like rocking back and forth trying to figure out where to jump in on the music. So yeah, I'm behind the times with the rest of the folks in class, but it is an absolute blast. I I really like it. The improv part of it, I'm obviously more comfortable with, having been doing improv now for 3 years. Woohoo! But the musical part is a riot, and you're just making up songs, and sometimes you win and you end up rhyming, and it is total. Did I cut that too small? No, that'll be right. Like, you look like you're a freaking genius, and sometimes you're doing free form poetry where nothing rhymes, and that's okay too. I'm doing free form poetry a lot. Both of my kiddos were really involved in a lot of activities, and I felt really busy as they were growing up because I was involved in, taking them to all the activities that they were involved in. And that's how, I spent my time working, doing the things for the kids. And I thought once they got to be functioning adults and everything, I thought life would really like slow down. And no. Apparently I really enjoy a busy life, which is crazy. Makes for a busy life. Hello, bass drop. You do not need to come up here. No, sir. Yeah, I really thought things were going to slow down once the kids like graduated high school, got into their own stuff, they're fully functioning adults. But apparently I was addicted to always having something to do. Oh, see, now I'm cutting the same like piece 8, and because I'm on solid fabric, doesn't matter where I cut it from, it'll work. Oh, he's gonna do it anyway, even though I told him no. He's about to jump up here. Yes, I see you, Kooky Dukes. No. He understands no. He just understands that he can get away with doing anything he wants to. Come here, you. Say hello. Say hello, everybody. That's a bass drop, please. Bass drop was the kitty that was sick a few years ago. And it was my fault he was sick because he got himself into some thread. Got all of his insides all twisted up off of some sewing thread. Yeah. He's the snuggle bunny. He will just lay in your arms and go to sleep. All right. Did you get enough squishes? Enough squishes for right now? Can I let you go? I'm so close to being done. Okay. There you go. Woo, big jump. Good job. All right, now I got to get his fur off of everything. Never ending battle. That. Let's see. Yeah, I might be missing one piece. Okay, first is UN. 2 is RP. I used RP already, right? We used RP. Yep. 2 is RP. 3 is SC and SY. All right, and that's all of that for that one. And then are in any of these. No. Nope. So all of the rest of these are left over as well, because I don't need them for this one. So we've got a good stack of fabrics. Let's see. WE is in here. SY is in here. And then IM PK is here. Oh, and we have this one. I might have spoken too soon. I forgot about the little one. Oops. SI needs to go for this one. Somebody is playing underneath my desk. All right. So WE is here and it's here. All right. All right, and then let's see if any of this is in. What are you? ET. H. S. Wow, okay. There we go. Now these guys go into the leftover. And then this guy is almost all the way set up. BT, H, QD, 4 and 5 and 6. Oh yeah, this one is totally full. All right, there we go. Okay, so I have these 4 left to do, to cut, and then I'll be able to get to sewing. Let me put the top back on this guy because that was not safe. There we go. So I'll get these 4 cut out all the way, set up just like I had these. Then this week I'll work on putting all of the, sewing all the fabric on and then putting the units together into sections and sections together into the finished block. And then I will show you guys that block. I am going to be sewing Sewphia in quads. So I have the first two blocks and I'll have those done. Then when month two gets here, I'm gonna sew them in like A1, A2, B1, B2. Um, yeah, in that quad. So I won't put, well, I might put A1 and A2 together. We'll see. But I want to do them in four block sections so that then I'm just putting like shorter seams together for all of the things, just sewing quads together. Makes it a little bit easier. And then you can start seeing it being built out on your design wall, which is a ton of fun. It's the best part to get to is when it starts coming together and you can really start seeing the picture. Uh, it, it is funny. Like they do look at me when I tell them no, and they look at me in that way of the how dare you peasant kind of way. So there's that. Runs with quilts, Melissa. Hello. Oh, Melissa just started following the bass drop gets sick. Yes, that was boogers. That was unfun. I was not happy about that. That was it was a rough couple of weeks. But now he's all back to normal and I've stopped being quite so scared when he yodels because he's back to yodeling at the birds. Um, but there is a moment of panic. But it totally changed. Him getting sick totally changed the way that I take care of loose threads. I have covered trash cans because that's how he had gotten into the trash can. I covered trash cans now that are always closed. But anytime I have thread or like string or whatever, I'm cutting it up into such small, tiny pieces and then putting it down like into the trash can so that if he somehow opened the trash can, he can't get to it. But yeah, that was a lot. That was stressful. But it it was good changes. It helped me realize what could potentially happen with the cats playing around in the sewing area. I'm in it's like a co use. The dining room is right there, the living room, it's like all open space, and so my sewing piece is back here in the like back end of this area. And uh so I can't just like close the door to the sewing room. So it helped me maintain those kinds of things. Like I run the vacuum. I don't have any thread. Crazy. I don't have any thread on the ground. No threads on the ground where the cats can potentially pick them up and eat them. But yeah, it was the thing. Yeah, cats are great at those looks. Oh, Ingrid says her nephews are freaking out over the weather coming through. Yeah. Oh, is it going to be big? Are we going to get a lot of rain? That'll be wild. Ugh. All right. Well, thank you all so much for being here and spending some time with me this Sunday. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Sunday. If you're in the path of these storms, please be very careful. Keep us posted. Make sure that you're doing okay. I will share progress pictures as I work through this second block, and I will continue working on it. Is on my to-do list to get a calendar together and to get into a regular cadence, keeping in mind that life finds a way, as Jeff Goldblum would say, and it causes chaos. And so I will try to stay as on schedule as possible. But even this past week where I was supposed to put the schedule together, that didn't happen. It is what it is. But I'm always so happy to be able to spend time with you and have you guys share your stories and share food and different things that I should try. So I look forward to seeing you again next Sunday, and I will let you know what that will end up being, probably like the Saturday before. But talk to you all soon. Again, have a great week. Be safe. Bye, everybody.